Genshin Impact will be finishing up version 5 within the next few months, but the game overall has been around for almost 5 years. During this time, the game has gone through so much, both game-wise and community-wise. I still remember the spike Genshin got back when Inazuma first dropped, and how excited we all were to explore the islands for the very first time. I also, unfortunately, remember the many controversies this game has gone through, the most recent and notable of such being the SAG-AFTRA strike with the English voice actors. Genshin boomed in 2020 due to being a higher quality open-world gacha game in the midst of COVID. No one had really blended the two genres together before on this scale, and during a time when everyone was stuck inside, the game became a complete success. I didn't pick up Genshin Impact until version 1.4, and yet this Venti character was flooding my timeline despite never searching any Genshin-related terms before I picked up the game. As time passes, we get to see the true longevity of things. Genshin Impact is no different, and it's been losing a lot of popularity while the player base continues to lose faith in the game. I'm not saying that the game isn't popular, it's still huge and successful thanks to the success Hoyoverse has been able to expand and make other games. However, it's been dwindling over time, and there's a few clear reasons why. First and foremost, the players aren't really listened to. As a collective player base, we have been asking for certain quality of life features to be added into the game. Artifact loadouts, more endgame options, better banner systems, better resin systems, a skip and summarize button, etc. How many of these requests have actually made it into the game? Well, lately a handful of them have, but it took the developers 4+ years to finally make the move. We just got artifact loadouts in 5.7, the weapon banner was recently updated in version 5 as well, but it's more so a small shuffle towards a better direction, and I wouldn't even call it a step. We got Imaginarium Theater as a new game mode almost a year ago in July of 2024, but it's already been ruined by the developers continuously increasing HP. We're about to get another endgame mode, but I think I've made my point clear. While yes, we finally got some of the things we've been asking for, it took way too long for it to happen. And they're not nearly as fleshed out as they should be. Believe it or not, some people do play just for the exploration and combat. They don't want to listen to the characters yap, and all those players still don't have a skip and summarize button. I personally tune into all the voice quests, but I've now grown so tired of the walls of dialogue in just your regular world quests that I'd love a skip and summarize button for those. I don't think I ever recovered from the Aranara quest. The one thing that kept me going is that these little cute guys reminded me of Zelda's Koroks. I love those little yahaha guys. Having a live service game continuously not listening to the player base has turned a lot of people away. I went on Google Trends and searched both Genshin and Genshin Impact terms, and you could see that the overall game has been searched for less and less. We do see spikes every now and then, probably when a new exciting patch or a region drops, but the overall trajectory is not a positive one. To be fair, this is to be expected to a degree. As time flows onward, games, movie shows, etc. are not going to be searched as intensely as they were at the beginning. We gravitate towards fresh and even the next big thing, and now Genshin is not that. It's a gacha game that's paved the road for many new games to come, and now it has some real competitors, which blends right into my next point. Genshin isn't a monopoly in this space anymore. We have options now. If I want to blow things up as Encore and Wuthering Waves, I can. If I want to play as a big bear and destroy things, I can go to Xenozone Zero and do just that. There's also some incredibly cool looking games on the horizon. The one I'm looking most forward to is the Silver Palace. Have you seen the trailer and art for that game? It's gorgeous, oh my god. I'm so ready to play it when it comes out. In a way, Genshin is even beginning to compete within itself in Hoyoverse titles, Honkai Star Rail, Zenless Zero, and I hear there's 2 new games that Hoyoverse is making. I might make a separate video on how I feel about this company taking on so many different gacha genres at once, but for the sake of this one, there are other gacha open world games that we can go and play now. Genshin isn't the only game that can scratch that itch. We're also not in a pandemic anymore, so a lot of players have left the game to return to their lives, or they play it far less than they did when there was nothing to do. I don't think I can talk about losing popularity without mentioning some of the social elements surrounding the game. Genshin has survived quite a few controversies. We had the hilarious Chi-Chi Fallen revolution that occurred during the game's first anniversary rewards. We had the Sumeru concerns regarding the playable characters' design choices. We had the overall letdown that Natlan was. But I think the biggest and most recent have to be the SAG-AFTRA strikes. Really quick for the unacquainted, the SAG-AFTRA strikes were originally about AI protections. However, Genshin and other gacha-related titles were never part of that strike. Voice actors who voiced in games like Genshin Impact decided to collectively refuse work as a way of adding social pressures to flip the games into becoming union after signing a contract. Once the fans realized that this portion of the strike wasn't as genuine as the rest, people rightfully got upset. We went without hearing our favorite characters for over half a year, and now we have some voice actors acting like complete children over it all. As someone who listened to podcasts of these voice actors when I was blind dealing with my injury, it hurt a lot to see the voice actor community crumble over this past year. I believe that without my sight I could at least use my voice, but now the English voice acting community has taken a huge blow that it might not recover from. They lost a lot of faith from fans, and many of them have been recast. Heck, the main lead Paimon was recast, and I saw a point that said, if Paimon, who has the most voice lines, was recast, then anyone is fair game. I cannot tell you how many times I've been reading through different social medias that players have admitted to outright quitting because the game lacked voices. They were on board supporting the strike against AI, but once certain VAs began to attack others, the support vanished, and as it should. You're all grown adults. They all know better than to put their coworkers down, and in such a public way too. Now, we've covered not listening to players, Genshin no longer being in a monopoly, and lastly, some of the social pressures. The last thing I want to discuss that's leading to Genshin's lost popularity is the lack of innovation. Genshin Impact has fell into a routine and has gotten quite comfortable with it. Typically, your patch will consist of a new banner character, a quest for that banner character, a main event, and a bunch of minigames. We don't even get an Archon quest every patch, but I have noticed they are becoming more common, which is good. The cycle has been continuously repeated over and over, but what makes it feel a lot worse is that the event minigames are just a bunch of tedious tasks, which is not very fun to play. I understand that to keep players engaged, little events sprinkled throughout the patch can help. What gets annoying is when there's one fetch quest event, one battle event, etc. every single time. That's why whenever they do innovate and come up with brand new minigames, I appreciate it even if I personally don't like it. The most recent minigame I really hated was the Operation Downpour event in Fontaine. Oh my god. My monster units were always targeting the wrong things, and my damn Pyro Slime Hilichurls kept attacking the fences. It was so janky to control, it was just not fun, but I recognize that Genshin tried to do something different. Not everything is going to be a hit, but I'd rather them mess around with new minigame styles rather than just recycle the same old stuff over and over. While Genshin is losing its popularity, it's not hurting that much in the grand scheme of things. While here Zizuin and Mizuki's banner had the lowest revenue yet, I'm sure they still made plenty. I tried to find an exact number but came up empty in my search. Even though many players have left Genshin in pursuit of other fun games to play, many still play Genshin and clearly still spend their money on it. It does make me feel a lot better that they added specific dollar amounts before you buy crystals or pull on the banners. I did the math for this a long time ago and realized how ridiculous the real life currency to game currency conversion was. But now everyone can have an easier time realizing just how expensive their favorite characters are. I still cannot fathom how people are able to C6 their characters unless they've got the money to blow or are extremely patient to keep pulling for their favorite unit over time. One last note. I want to reiterate that I do love Genshin Impact. I still have fun with the game, and that's why I still play it. But I can recognize that it's not what it used to be. And when I see this game side by side with others, I can see its age. I'm excited to try out future games like Silver Palace, but I'm also excited to see how the Genshin story will unfold. We got a great Archon quest in 5.7, which was very much needed. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like gacha or art-related content, you'll probably like my channel. Leave a subscribe if you want, and I will see you next time.